Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. This is the iGold Advisor channel. It is November 27th, 2023, and we have to have not just a gold price update, but a breakout alert. This is absolutely critical that you pay attention to where gold is right now. Most of the investors are not paying attention, and they are going to miss this move, and they're going to be chasing it once it's higher. So watch out, and make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because this time tomorrow, I am going to publish our silver price alert. Even if you're only investing in silver, though, you want to watch this breakout alert for gold, because the general direction that gold moves in, silver is going to follow on steroids with a slight delay. So watch this gold price breakout alert first. Tune in tomorrow for the silver price update. And last but not least, before we get into this alert, make sure you follow our Twitter feed. The handle is at iGlobalGold, because guys, look, it's been a number of weeks since the last update. I've been extremely busy, and I've been waiting for something that I could really share with you guys. I have been posting quicker updates, though, for free on this Twitter feed. When I only have a few minutes, sometimes I post things there. So make sure you check out the Twitter feed. It's now called x.com. You can get quicker updates there as well. All right, let's get into this breakout alert. Very briefly, please make note of our legal disclaimer. And we go. Now let's rewind and look at the big picture for gold, going back for the last 20 years, since some of the lows in the early 2000s. Big move up to the 2011 peak, 5-year bear market, 4 years to climb back up to that level. And here we are, we've been consolidating for the last 3.5 years. By the way, feel free to pause this video if it seems like there are too many colors or too many lines on the page. I want you to pause and take a look at this key here. All these colors have a meaning to them. There is a logic behind this system. This is a system that I've been working on for 20 years to develop the most accurate way to look at where are the buyers showing up and where are the sellers showing up, so that we can align with the overall market. We know there are manipulators in this sector. We know there are attempts to suppress the price, but we also know that central banks are buying and a lot of investors are buying around the world. And this discipline is a study of where are those entities appearing. Not to say they don't exist, but where do they appear so that we can align with them and with the highest probability of the market. So bring it back to the present, 3.5-year consolidation here that's been going on. What I want to zoom into now is this red shaded box. So let's zoom in here on the last 5 years. There we go. Okay, now pay attention to this very closely. So gold rose, as we saw, after the 2018 bottom to hit this level at 2,075. And it then made 1, 2, and 3 attempts. You can very clearly see 1, 2, 3. So look, if the entire market is manipulated, well, then even those manipulators move in patterns, because you can very clearly see here that the sellers over the last 3.5 years have been emerging at the exact same price, just in the region of this $2,074, $2,075 per ounce level. So 1, 2, 3, and then we call this what? It is a resistance zone. This is a zone where the market is encountering resistance. The sellers, for whatever reason, will not let this price through this resistance zone. Now, come back to the present. Point number 3. We're looking at the most recent downtrend from point number 3, and look at this. Gold is now breaking the final downward trend from point number 3. There are no other downtrends in existence. Remember, this is the most recent price data here. These are the former all-time highs. There are no other downtrends that can be drawn on this chart. There are no downward trends remaining. So, what does this mean? Gold now above $2,000 an ounce. Most people are not paying attention to this, but there is now no resistance on this chart until what? Until we get back to this former all-time high resistance zone at 2,075. So that is setting up attempt number 4 at this resistance zone. This is now going back almost 4 years since the beginning of this. Now, guys, I've been studying technical analysis for 20 years. This goes back to my first job out of university, out of college, which was working for a bank and processing their trades. And I was studying the trades they were doing, and I was studying the patterns that were shaping up here in the markets. And I will tell you, based on my 20 years of studying markets, that there is no such thing as a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple top. There is no such thing as a market that tries once, twice, 3 times, and now setting up for time number 4, where then this ends up being a long-term top right here. I mean, I never want to use the word 100% guaranteed, because in the life of markets, it's generally good that we don't use the word guarantee. But I will tell you, from my 20 years of studying these markets, I have never seen something form a top after a quadruple attempt to break out. So if this is not a top, then what it's telling me is that this is a consolidation before what? Before we get ready to break out to new all-time highs. That is the message of this market. Currently trading just above $2,000 per ounce. It has not broken out yet. Most investors who are casual, right, who are not tuned into this channel, who are not following the precious metals markets on a daily basis, they're looking at this price and they're saying, well, gold's been about $2,000 for the last 4 years, so who cares? It hasn't done anything. So as I said, they're not following it right now. But once it starts to break out to new all-time highs, that is when that average investor is going to start tuning into the market, and you're going to start seeing an acceleration away from the breakout point of this resistance zone. Okay, this is what is coming. Looking very good right here for the gold market. I'm glad to say we had some scary signals that we had to monitor over the last couple months, but this market is looking extremely healthy. Now, if we want to say, okay, fine, all-time highs may be coming here, should be coming within the next couple of months, how high could the price go on a reasonable basis, on a calculated basis, with the expectation of those new all-time highs? So this is the exact same chart. We're just zoomed out a little bit more so that we have more room on the axis here so that we can look at what this market should be doing once it breaks out. There's the 1, 2, 3 for the resistance zone. Here is attempt number 4 that is setting up. Now, lucky for us, when we have a market like this that has been in basically a horizontal consolidation for the last 3.5 to 4 years, we have a fairly reliable way of measuring where gold should land once this breakout happens, and where gold might look to form the next level of resistance after that point. And the way that we can do this target projection is by measuring the amplitude, the widest part of the amplitude from points 1, 2, 3, and 4 setting up. So this zone here at 2074, 2075, and measuring all the way down to the very bottom of the consolidation. In this case, that is $460 of amplitude. Right here, you can see that in blue. And the way that we arrive at a target is by adding this exact same amplitude onto the breakout point when that happens, and yielding a target right up here, which is going to be defined as that number 460 added onto the breakout point, or 2,500 $435 per ounce. When gold breaks out, this is my official target unless proven otherwise. Now let's talk about why. Why does this type of measurement and target projection typically work? There is a reason. We're not simply measuring random lines here. We're not taking a measurement of this back here. We're not taking a measurement of this over here. We're specifically measuring the amplitude of the entire zone underneath the resistance here. And why do we add it onto the breakout point? Because this amplitude represents the amount of short selling that came into the gold market over the last 3.5 years. $460 worth of short selling is what came into this. If you don't know what I mean by short selling, those are traders, investors, manipulators, central banks, everything, all the above, who thought that gold was going to keep falling. And so they shorted, they sold gold with an attempt to profit when it falls. And so if you think about it, when gold breaks out to a new all-time high, which is coming, we talked about how there's very rarely ever heard of 4 tops in a market. So when this breaks out, all those entities that shorted gold here over the last 3.5 years, by definition, are going to be underwater. All of their trades, all of their attempts to sell gold and hold the price down, they will be underwater. They will be at a loss on those trades. And what a reasonable entity does when they have a loss on a trade is they begin to cover their shorts. They begin to eliminate the short position, and thus we expect roughly an equal amplitude of buying pressure to come in as they close those shorts as existed back here in the amplitude of the resistance zone, okay? So as they're covering their shorts, we get the short squeeze coming in, we get the market moving higher. $2,535 per ounce will be our target when gold breaks out. And the way that it should move is like this. We should have an initial move higher, perhaps a 2150 or 2200, followed by a retest of the breakout zone, of the resistance zone, followed by the move to that target. And this could happen quicker than some people think. This amplitude here happened in 6 months, from point number 2 down to the low, 6 months back up again. So absolutely, this could be a matter of 6 months following the breakout for gold to achieve this 2,535 target. So if you do not have exposure to the precious metals markets right now, or if you don't have enough exposure, whether you're talking gold, silver, or the gold and silver miners, this is your time. You do not have that much more time to make your preparations here, because the highest assessment of probabilities is that this move is on our doorsteps now. You can see the final downtrend has been broken, and this thing appears to be within weeks, I would say at the most 1 to 2 months before it takes off here. This could be a lot sooner. The way that gold is moving, this could be any day now that we wake up and gold is in new all-time high territory. So you want to be making your plan now. If you want to follow along with the exact investments that we are making and the exact buy and sell signals, when we make the investments, when we sell the investments, for everything related to physical gold, physical silver, the gold and silver mining sector, as well as enhanced coverage now of Bitcoin, the stock market, and the rest of the currency markets, you should check out our service called Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. We cover all this, just like the videos that you're seeing now. But in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus, the videos are more like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes every week. We cover this. We cover your questions you can write in, and we respond and produce videos covering your questions. You also get flash updates that go right to your inbox anytime, day or night, when something related to the precious metals or the investments that we are making warrants your immediate attention, so you don't have to keep your eyes on these things all the time. We do it for you. If you are a higher net worth investor, you'd like to take your investing career to the next level, you have to understand the power of private placements. And our service called Elite Private Placements is for you if you are one of these higher net worth investors. In Elite Private Placements, we make similar investments that we are making here in Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. However, we do it at more favorable terms because when you're willing to commit a certain amount of capital, the gold, silver, and mining companies will give you better terms on your investments. You should really understand the power of private placements. Make sure to check out our website. There's a lot of free educational materials there to help you learn more about private placements. And remember, you also get a free subscription to our flagship PMI Plus service when you join Elite Private Placements. If you would like to work with me one-on-one, if you are brand new to the precious metals sector, or you're looking at both of these and you're saying, well, I don't know, maybe I'm somewhere in the middle. Am I ready for private placements? Should I just stick with the open market? Schedule a consultation. I work on a half-hour or hourly basis. I take no kickbacks, no fees whatsoever from any of the bullion dealerships, any of the gold and silver companies, any of the mining companies, none whatsoever. I am fully independent for a reason so that I can give you the most unbiased analysis possible. That is my business model. It is very different from the business model of many others. So please be careful where you are getting your research and analysis from. As I said, this time tomorrow we are doing a separate special silver price alert because silver is even more exciting than gold when you really understand the ramifications. So make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post the silver video. Things are moving extremely quickly right now. This is as good of a setup as we've had in the last 3.5 years in the gold market. You do not want to miss this.